Hello and welcome back to Ntanzi. We're back again. It's that time of the night where we have to talk about what happened in court. Please do the right thing. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. We are here and we will be here tomorrow. Unfortunately, I thought we're going to have a break as usual because that's how we lawyers do.
We're
speaking in codes. Guys, thank you very much. I would like to give a shout out to someone who really contributed. This is Esther Baby Ledge, and this is coming courtesy of exactly that. Thank you, Esther, for your generous donation. We appreciate it. So hence I was thinking of not coming here, but hey, once I'm paid, what do? I come here. Thank you very much for your generous donation. We really appreciate you and also where it comes from. We hope it increases.
Yes.
Right, Emily. Just before we start everything, I'm going to give you a chance, as usual,
Hi, guys.
to greet our people and remind them to subscribe.
Subscribe, like, and tell us what you think. And also share the video if you can. Okay. And welcome, guys, to Ntanzi Reality YouTube channel. We're continuing from where we left off. Yesterday, it was a bit of a wishy-wash. For me, I didn't understand where the state was actually headed to. But I think after today's misunderstandings, arguments, and everything, that tension, now we have a better picture of what is going on.
You say?
I think so. And I'm going to try and unpack as much as I can. But I feel like now we know what the state wanted to do. Because yesterday it wasn't quite clear. It was a lot of confusion. But today, I think we have a picture of what the state was trying to achieve with bringing Ho to come and testify. So, also, why did they deny us the live chat? You know that live chat is more interesting than the court proceedings themselves.
That will be in that door of SABC. That's our archives. As usual, that's where we get information. So, I don't know.
Why did they close it? Hashtag bring back the live chat. Please, Tina, we like that live chat. We like the madness that's going on in there. It is very entertaining. More entertaining than the proceedings themselves. And also, remember how Mr. Anonymous, there was a Mr. Anonymous 2 who called like a month ago and was telling us that the media was planning on,
Yes, I thought of that actually. I it came into my mind as it was happening. I was like, is this stage one?
Perhaps.
I wanted to know that if it was stage one.
Of saying we are going to be court proceedings shed. Shedding of the court. Okay, so Sibora Masipili for accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi continued with his cross-examination of Hoes, and he asked about the photograph of the firearms, the pictures found on the phone recovered from Bongani Ntanzi in February of 2021. Ramasipili asked, how do you tell if a photo is taken from a device? And Ho said that you can't say which device, but this image was taken from Facebook. Ramasipili gave him a scenario of taking a photograph with his own cell phone device, and he asked if you, as a digital forensic analyst, was to look through this, what would you make of it? So, I don't know, Mr. Anonymous. I felt like that in short question from yesterday. Did you notice that he didn't continue where he left off? Or was he done with the in short question that we wanted him to press on?
Remind me of the question.
The pic mixing situation, saying that it was modified and stuff.
No, he did continue with it.
He did continue with it.
Yes, because he did ask about modification, if there is a word like that. If it's not, I've implemented it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ramasipili said, how do you tell if a photo is taken from a device? And Ho said that you can't say which device, but this image was taken from Facebook. And if you as a digital forensic analyst want to check when this photo was taken, where do you go? And Ho said that on the metadata file name, the date created, you will see it there. And he said, I can't tell when this photo was taken because it's not on this camera. It was a Facebook image that was saved, and it was saved on his phone on the 21st of January. No, on the 4th of January 2021 at 15:38.
Yes.
So Ramasepele asked him what details would the metadata contain, and Ho said that the metadata is on the phone itself. It will tell you when the photo was taken and what phone was used. Ho said that the metadata doesn't change even if the photo is shared. There won't be any metadata because you didn't take the photo yourself from the phone itself. And Ramasepele asked him, what does it mean when it says that the photo was modified on the 4th of January 2021? And Ho said that it is modified. It means you did something on that photo. It was created, then modified. It was saved in his archives. And he said that we recovered that. So my apologies as well yesterday. I thought he was talking about the Facebook account. He was talking about the image that he downloaded from the Facebook. He wasn't talking about the Facebook account. So when he says he recovered the Facebook image, not the Facebook account.
Apology accepted.
My apologies. So Ramasipili then said the time created of that image was 15:38:21, and it would be modified a second later, 15:38:20. And it says that it was accessed on the 4th of January 2021 at 0:00 midnight.
Yes.
What does accessed mean? And guys, did you notice that they are saying that this photo was modified like in a second? You know, is it the same one that was done by InShot? Or is it a different image that he was talking about?
I think the question was too general for us to be able to
pick up.
decipher if that was the case.
Then Ho said that he went into the photo, so that's according to the metadata, according to his cell phone. So Ramasipili then asked, what does the attributes mean? Ho said that it's archived and it's the backup files. And Ramasipili asked, accused number 2 denies that he created that Facebook image or downloaded that photo on his SD card because he didn't have his phone. They were in custody of police. Ho said that he couldn't comment on that, and he said this was according to the data created on that day, not according to him. So Ramasipili took stain to part of his testimony from yesterday where he talked about an image that was downloaded from the then recovered. Ho said that he can't say if it's the same one. It can be a double one that was saved and then deleted. It can be that it was saved twice and he deleted one because this one is still on his phone. He said he couldn't say it is the same one that was deleted. Maybe he saved that same image or similar image twice, and then it was deleted, and then it was found in the deleted folder, the
All right.
deleted one.
Okay.
So Ramasipili then asked him, the file name says carved. What does carving mean? And Ho said it was changed. It could have been changed. And from your analysis, Ramasipili asked, it could not have told you when it was carved or changed. And Ho said that it's deleted, so that came out of the carved file. So if it comes up from this carved file, that means that
It doesn't restore the date.
No.
It's a waste of time. So why would you bring all that here? If it doesn't bring any joy, in this case, time is important. Date when it was modified is important. And maybe doesn't it worry you that this man is part of the police, right?
Yes, he's part of the police, yes.
And for some weird reason, Ntanzi would not know. I doubt he would know that if you delete the picture, this system cannot bring it with the time.
Yeah.
Do you understand? No timestamp whatsoever. I doubt Ntanzi would be in possession of such information.
Ramasipili asked him, you were shown a Sergeant Mabasa's telephone for a telephone that allegedly belonged to accused number 3. And you were shown this photo to compare with the downloaded data by Mabasa. And you said that they look similar. Ramasipili asked for the photos to be shown. And he asked that if that photo is labeled image was taken by a phone or it was downloaded, and Ho said that it was taken by a particular phone. And he says on the 27th of May 2014 is when the picture was taken, and it's a Facebook image. Ramasipili said that he is done with the firearms because they have denied the knowledge of them or storing them. Did they? I feel like I missed something. Did they deny? Did he deny? Okay.
But if he didn't, he has then when he says it.
He's covering this part. He's finishing. Okay. Then Ramasipili went to the photo of the newspaper article that was taken, or that was talking about the case. File name image 2020, 29th of October, and it's a JPG image. And Ho said that it means that it was from the camera because it was saved under his DCIM, the card of the phone. He means the memory card. Asked what DCIM means, and Ho said that it is in your SIM card, your memory card. Eventually, he corrected himself to say that it's a memory card, not a SIM card. So Ramasipili wanted to know what the term DCIM means, and Ho said that he cannot tell him now what it means, meaning he doesn't know. It was created on the phone on the 17th of January 2021. Jonas said, however, that it's 11, not the 17th, at 1756. And the time the image was accessed was 11 on the 11th of January 2021. So on the same day, the 11th of January 2021, it was accessed at different times. At 1756, and the image was accessed at 000. So it was created at 1756 and accessed at 000 midnight.
Maybe the question that perhaps was missed is, when was it downloaded? Or if it was asked, when was it downloaded? According to this Stain guy who's now retired, when was it downloaded? Because maybe the editing could have happened around that time.
Ho said that he cannot comment on that. Ramasipili said he wanted to ask general questions for clarification purposes. He asked that with the new smartphones, when he saves an SMS or a message, on which file will it be stored? And Ho said that with the new phones, it will be stored under your messages on the phone itself. Ramasipili asked him, in the instance of this case, where the phone itself, the password is locked or locked with a pattern, you cannot download the phone, therefore extraction cannot occur on the phone. A SIM card is successfully extracted, but it shows that certain messages are also on the SIM card. How does that happen? And Ho said that that's old phones. This is not the new technology. This is a stylo. But then Ramasipili corrected him to say that it is a Samsung J5. And Ho said that it all depends on how you save your backup. So if I get a message, it will either save on the phone, or if it's a message, it can also save on the SIM card, yes. So we see this a lot, he said. Even the numbers, you can either save it on the SIM card or you can save it on the phone.
That is true.
And Ramasipili went to the communication between accused number 2 and a contact identified as Lungisani. So Ramasipili asked him, what is the cell phone number attributed to contact Lungisani? And Ho said it's 27715951 And Ramasipili asked him, your analysis is that the SIM card that was used and the number it was given, it's 2760901689. Is that correct? And Ho said it's not SIM card 1. SIM card 2 was used. And SIM card 2 is 2772705756. And Ramasipili repeated that number of Lungisani, which was connected to Fisoguhle Ntuli. Ramasipili asked, my instruction from accused number 1 is that he does indeed know this Lungisani person, and that Lungisani person is not accused number 5, Fisoguhle Ntuli. It's a different person. Guys, you remember in Stain's evidence, there was a Lungisani Ntuli, and they said that it is Fisoguhle Ntuli. They said it's the same person. Do you guys remember that?
I remember that.
Then Ho said, I can't comment on that. That is according to the database I received, and that's the analysis I've done. Accused number 2, when you start hearing answers like this, you must know that you are hammering on the right place. When you start hearing now people denying the work and they're saying it was not done by them, gukhona ugu off. So accused number 2 raised his hand up, and Ramasipili approached him. And when he returned, he said that accused number 2 instructed him that Lungisani's surname is, well, he wasn't sure whether he should mention the surname in the court. He decided not to. And then he instructed him that they are allowed to make calls from the public phones at the prison, where he is accommodated. And accused number 2 does speak to this person by the name of Lungisani on this number on weekends when he is allowed to phone. Isn't that interesting?
Very interesting.
Then Host asked to go back to his testimony or affidavit, and he checked the number, and he said that the number was identified by Colonel Steyn and the investigation team in Section 205.
Now he's distancing himself from this thing.
Yes.
But you see why it was important what Mnisi raised yesterday in terms of the affidavits, in terms of this guy coming and testifying. It seemed yesterday as if they wanted him to testify on behalf of Steyn also, under pretense of saying that Steyn has already came, so therefore he can just go around and say whatever that you want to say, and also even correct as seemingly he has corrected Steyn, if it's correct,
to kind of change some of the things.
Yes.
Barricking amendments.
Though that amendment is causing chaos today, and you will see that as we proceed.
The number was identified, he said, Uhos. The number was identified by the investigation team, not by himself, but by the investigation team. He said he never had access or perused the Section 205.
It's something to look at, actually, this issue of investigation team, because it's unexplained. So it comes with the investigation team. Then all of a sudden it is checked and it's linking everyone.
Why can't the analysts download themselves with no downloads coming from the investigation team? Let's say you receive an exhibit, you're the analyst. Why can't you just take the exhibit, start from scratch, download, and do all of those things? Which is what happened in the case of Steyn.
So what they are trying to do, in my own opinion, is that they are trying to create chaos, because this thing is just a chaos.
It is.
So if you come with a number, for example, you say this is the number that I would like you to check. Shouldn't you have linked that number to a certain cell phone? It must then be there or be part of those cell phones, because I mean it's a number that comes unless you cooked it.
Yes.
Why is it not showing on the cell phone numbers such that now you can even declare that it was not retrieved from the phone, it came with the investigation? If indeed it came with investigation, okay, we agree with that. But then be able to verify it now through these processes that you are doing. Then be able to say that actually it did come with the investigation team, but what we are seeing is that this number on this phone, it was called by so and so and so and so. This number comes, it has no link, it has no mother, it has no father.
You must just believe what the investigative team is saying.
It does not have...
And you are taking it and you are just doing what they are telling you to do.
Yeah,
it
does not have the basis of where the number comes from. They are not able to account for. It just comes with an investigating team. And that's it.
Well, can't the cell phone analysts themselves request the 205 with the network providers themselves or the service providers? Can they do the section 205 themselves? Or is it done only by the investigating?
No, they can. I don't think that there's a limitation of what, but the person who's investigating the case, I think the onus is with him to actually do it. Yeah, it should be with him because he wants some information and then obviously must not infringe on the accused right.
But you want the information to not have any doubt. Do you understand what I'm saying? You want it to have no doubt.
I'm not disputing that. Mm-hmm. I'm not disputing that. Mm-hmm. In a normal court, and I'm saying this so that you understand. Here we're dealing with what looks like kangaroo court.
I agree.
So you cannot expect to see right things all the time.
I know I'm watching international, especially American court cases. They're very interesting. There's always proof there. You know?
Well, there's always proof, but we are not in America, we're in South Africa. And this is what
like,
we're facing.
You done did it. Right now they are busy with deeding it. And let me tell you, Ziyakhala. The case has not even started. But the information coming out, the witnesses, everything, it's hard not to believe. It's not hard not to believe that he doesn't have a case to answer to. That's all I'm going to say. But now I come back home and I'm looking at this trial and I'm like, how did we get here? Every day I'm asking myself, what's happening?
Look, crying is not going to help us. I would like to cry, but if you cry in a situation where there is really nothing that is going to change, let us work with what we have. What we have is that some numbers don't have section 205, and let us deal with that at that. Because if we start now looking outside, obviously there are a lot of things that are done that do not make sense, and people of South Africa that are defending that. So
yeah. That's also another scary part, is to find the defense of this thing that doesn't make sense. It's so weird. Then a host said that you never had access or perused the section 205 that were done by the previous analyst. Okay, this is Ramasipili asking the question and the downloaders. And host said that that's correct. And Ramasipili asked him, and you also never had access to the analysis done by Colonel Steyn. And host said that's correct. Ramasipili asked him, the point will be what is contained in Annexure 8 is a say-so by somebody else. It's not you.
Yeah.
Who said that SIM card 2 was linked to SIM card 5. And this was verified to be accused number 5 or Lungisani. So the gist of what happened here is that they took Ntanzi's phone, found Lungisani and said Lungisani is Fisoguhle in a very simplified manner.
Yes.
Of explanation. Because a lot is going on. But in simple terms, that's what happened here. Lungisani was made to be a Fisokuhle Ntuli who's accused number 5. But then, Bongani Ntanzi is saying, Lungisani he still talks even today with Lungisani. It's a totally different person. It's not accused number 5. The one that was on his phone, the Lungisani on his phone, that he knows of, that he talks to. Even now, he calls him by the public phone at the prison.
He did well by not mentioning the surname.
The surname.
Hey, this case.
For his safety.
Hey, you never know.
For his safety. And that's not your first-hand information. Then Ho said, no, wait. The SIM card is my analysis. The linkages were done where I put 2 numbers from the databases from Canal Stain. As I explained, he gave me the whole database after he left. But I don't know what's on the database. But I can't testify what's on the database. And
But
that's
you're
how
testifying for him.
it linked
That's why
to
I think
number 2, or the 2 numbers.
That's why I think it is important to ask this guy, what is he testifying as? Is he testifying for himself, for what he did, to account for what he did, or testifying for both Stain and him?
Because we even amended affidavits, we did supplementary affidavits, time was given for you to do that, and now when it's under cross-examination, you are dissociating yourself from taking ownership of Colonel Stain's work. We have another contradiction right there. So Ramasepeli took host to Annex 7, a number that was attributed to accused number 2. The number will be 2776264860. And accused number 2 states that he does not recall ever using this number. Host said, as I said, this is found on the database from Colonel Stain. Now, if
I don't understand.
Yeah?
I feel like the word database is used loosely. I do not think that one person can have a database within a server. So, how many people are there? How many databases will be there?
A lot of databases.
Instead of using database, you could say his archives, his files.
His files.
Because database makes it looks beautiful, and it is not beautiful.
It's too broad. It's too much of a huge. It's like
we are portraying the organized, protected situation, but you are able to access the very same database. Who's to say anyone else can access that database?
So now if the investigating officers took Ntanzi's phone on the 16th of June when they arrested him, and according to his version is that he had not had the phone with him because they took 2 of his phones when they arrested him. That's his version. Now, if his version is anything to go by, then this means someone was busy with his phone the whole year. Doesn't it look like... If he's denying it, okay, if he's denying it, allegedly, this is my opinion, could that be a possibility? And now I have to think about it. The interactions and activities of the cell phone, they are on different dates. It's like different dates. And I'm asking myself, okay, you found the phone, but the charger, how was he charging while he was with himself in a single cell? He was kept isolated in a single cell. The charging situation, how did it work out? I would like, to make it make sense to me in that aspect. Well, then Ramasepeli went to the affidavit where Hose said that the downloads revealed that the SIM card was ported from Vodacom to Cell C. So, in other words, a SIM swap could have been done where he moved his Vodacom number to Cell C, keeping that same number. And Ramasepele asked to take instructions from accused number 2. And when he came back, he said that Veiws says that it was changed to cell C. When was it done? And Ho said it doesn't say the date, but attributed data, unknown South Africa, MTN mobile telephone network, South African, and then cell C, LTY, South Africa. And I'm asking myself, why is MTN in it? I don't understand. Ntanzi denies ever porting the number to cell C. He has always used Vodacom and MTN. Veiws said that he cannot explain it. That is not what was extracted by him, but was extracted by redundant device network information that is embedded on the card itself. So Ramasepele asked him, you explained yesterday that because it is a dual SIM card, it will be given another IMEI number. And he said that his understanding was that a mobile device has one fingerprint, one identification mark that is unique to that device. But turns out, Veiws said that if it's not a dual SIM, but if it's a dual SIM, it will have two IMEI numbers. So he's correct in that. He is correct. It does have two IMEI numbers if it's a dual SIM card phone that can put in two SIM cards. Then Ramasepele asked, with respect to the numbers that accused number 2 says he was using at the relevant time period closer to his arrest in 2020 and 2019, he was using the following numbers: 0609016890, and the other one was 27655677733. And this number here, although he does not dispute it, that is marked as Vodacom/Cell C because they're still waiting for the 205s, because he has been in custody for too long. He says that he doesn't recall it, but Ramasepele said he was putting it specifically. He is not denying or admitting it until they get those things, because he says he can't recall some of the stuff. So the section 205 that Ramasepele may be talking about is the one for the Cell C number. So he's saying that they're going to wait for the cell phone or the service provider to come and maybe clarify a bit more. And perhaps that cell phone network provider will come with the 205 for the Cell C number.
No, but what? I see you people talking about this network provider. There's one thing that is a stumbling block there.
What?
They have been mentioning the Vodacom lady or Vodacom something that is coming. These numbers are not only Vodacom. There's MTN, there's Cell C.
There's Cell C, and a Vodacom person cannot pull Cell C data.
They are only bringing the Vodacom person. That's a red flag.
And this is another problem. This is another problem. Why couldn't Ramasepele just put it that my client doesn't have this Cell C number, and also there's no section 205 for the cell phone number, so my client rejects it. Your theory that
no, but that's reckless. That is reckless. I like the way he put it.
It's like he's not sure.
Yes, I mean, how often are you sure about the cell phone number that you've used? Can you tell me the last cell phone number you had?
No.
Thank you.
I can't.
Thank you.
I took the number out of my system.
If I was to show you all the numbers that you have used, would you be able to remember them all?
No. I was one of those who changed my numbers a lot. Mina. I've never kept one phone number for a long time. When the phone gets lost, ihamba ne number.
Yeah.
I just don't like doing swim.
So what Ntanzi's simple saying is that he cannot deny that is linked to that phone, but he can also not accept it at the face value, not unless there is enough evidence that says it links him.
It links him. So he will wait for the section 205 for the cells.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. So House then said, I understand, but those are the 2 SIM cards that were found inside the phone. Ramasipile asked him, with respect to the last activity on the device, how would you determine the last activity on the device? Say, for example, in this instance, he says, I was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 and the phones were seized from me and I never had access to them ever since. Then we see from the photos that we were discussing that there are other data that was created after the arrest. Then how do we determine when was the last activity on that phone? And Ho said the downloader must testify about that. He said he can't testify and he doesn't know when it was last used. He has a point here that he can't testify. The person who downloaded the stuff is the one who can tell which. But isn't it him though? Wait a minute. Isn't it Hoes who downloaded the Samsung J5 belonging to Ntanzi? Was it downloaded by Stain or was it downloaded by Hoes?
I'm not sure.
Because yesterday he was testifying that Brigadier Kininda came with the cell phone of Ntanzi for him to look at. Now iba ngathi manje ngidizi manje. Was it done by Colonel Stain for this Samsung J5 in particular and the stylo? That's what Host was saying, that he was instructed to analyze and pull and download.
The stylo was analyzed by, is it from CIA?
Oh, from crime intelligence. Yes, Glove.
No CIA. Hey!
It's not CIA, it's the Hawks.
The Hawks.
The Hawks are intelligence.
Yeah, but what?
The CI. It's CI, Criminal Intelligence of the Hawks. And then the other one was done by Horse, which is this Samsung J5. So now he's distancing himself from doing the downloads for this Samsung J5. Hi man, guys. Aghambanga kahle, honestly speaking. Ramasipile approached accused number 2 again to see if there is something he may have left. And the last question that he asked, he said, with respect to your analysis, say for example, there is alleged communication between accused number 1 and number 2. It would not show the date of communication and duration and all of that. That's somebody else's job. And Ho said that's on a section 205, meaning the network. Right? Ramasipili was done. And overall, Mr. Anonymous, I wanted to ask you how you felt overall about Ramasipili's cross-examination.
If you are just judging on the basis of not knowing technology, he portrayed to me that he is well informed when it comes to technology. He did his homework. It was a good cross-examination. It's just that it would bore you because you want to hear a certain way maybe. But here,
Ram felt like he's seeking knowledge.
No, he was leading this person.
Yeah.
Some of the questions you asked, some of the knowledge that you guys claim he was seeking, he asked the knowledge even if he knew it. You know, maybe after consulting with the people that he consulted with, I think he consulted.
Okay.
The knowledge was showing, the knowledge was just there.
All right.
Like the manner in which I'm not going to be able to answer calls, guys. I see someone keeps on calling.
We'll call later.
We have time that is designated for calls.
Yes, you will call.
You will call. So I keep on dropping you. You keep on calling. Not unless you are watching.
Once you see me with these on, you can call.
Yes. So, what is happening is I like the way he questioned. He would create a hole, sort of ring fence you.
He did do that. Now that I look at it.
And then later ask you the question that he wanted to ask. As compared to asking a question and then you get clarity. That makes a person that you're asking questions from looks good. Because he can lie just on the spot if you want to lie. But to eliminate lies, you ask him to give you clarity about the process of that thing. and then later you go to the question that you wanted to go. He was just on point. He was on point.
He was on point. So I also feel that maybe, I don't know, it's just that we've seen how complicated the process of getting an expert is for them, especially if they're going to rely on legal aid. But, you know, with expert or a expert from their side, it would have come with that working with the source, working with the phone itself, and not really rely on the PDFs and the downloads and that are given to them by the state. And I think we are seeing the similar influence kind of happening with the clerk, the ballistic expert from the defense's side, where now there are recommendations that they should sit with Mangena and then find where they agree, and when it's kind of clouding the work that the clerk needs to do independently, starting with the source. If he can get like information of the ballistics from way back in 2014 after the incident, right? And then base his report on that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then move on to the weapon that they say was found on Mncube, and then incorporate to the base information that he has. So I feel like the source, the connection to the source, if you're going to bring your own expert, I don't want the PDFs and the downloads and all of that. I want the phone itself. I want to make my own downloads. So that's just my 2 cents there. So Advocate Mnisi for accused number 3 started with his cross-examination, and he asked about the Facebook picture. Mnisi asked, will it be possible that the 100 Facebook users would have similar photos in their cell phones? And Ho says, I don't know why, but it can't be. I can save it if I want to. Then Mnisi asked him, you said accused number 2 had this photo in his phone as well as accused number 3, and Ho said that's correct. But that is neither here nor there, because Facebook users would store photos that they have an interest in on their own phones, right?
Yeah.
And Ho said, but it's nothing about the case. This is firearms. But why would somebody file a photo of a firearm because it interests in this case?
That was a very stupid question. In fact, logic, reasoning, I'm sorry to say stupid, but it was. Now that you think about it, I'm sorry, but I'm not. It was. Why would you ask that question? So, if today I decide to take a picture of a kid that was hit by a car, and then tomorrow or later down the line, I drive and I hit the car, the baby, then I'm guilty because I had pictures. That means I was thinking about it. I wanted to do it.
No, it can't be.
In fact, is that gun the same gun that...
It must be a coincidence.
I don't understand. He's questioning. It uses this old way of investigating.
During that time.
Yeah, just because you are seen with a certain picture of a certain prominent person at that time.
You did it.
Then you are really... It's not even a question. You are guilty as charged.
Remember, even when the news of Dr. Nadipa came out, how everybody who took pictures with...
It's crazy, man.
Everybody who took pictures with her was guilty.
It just doesn't make sense. You cannot fault people because they are viewing cars. So a car is stolen, similar car. I took a picture of that car. Maybe because I like the car. Maybe because I want to put it.
You wish to buy it. You're manifesting it.
Yes.
How? And then you happen to be entangled in a case, and then what ends up happening is that, okay, that is used against you. The court of public opinion can use that against you, but the court of the law, I don't think it has enough grounds to be able to use that against the person. So it wouldn't be fair if that was the case. Similar with what happened with Bafana. I think we covered the story where he made a very disturbing post in his youth, but that doesn't mean that in the court they're going to use that post against him. I doubt it. I highly doubt it would even be brought up. Do you understand what I'm saying? It would be neither here or there. You know, it for the court of public opinion, yes, we speculate, we do our thing. But the court doesn't work on speculations, right? So Mnisi said that Ohos shouldn't argue with him, okay? He shouldn't argue with him, and he needs to understand his question. And Ohos said he will try. Don't try. Understand it. Is what Mnisi said. This is where the tension now is building up. Mnisi versus Ohos. And Mnisi said, my question is, if a particular person takes an interest in a particular photo found in his Facebook and he stores it in his phone, that is not an offense. And Ohos said, no, that's not an offense. So Mnisi said, thank you. And then round 1 was done. Now round 2. Mnisi said, did you in your analysis find that there was communication between accused number 1 and accused number 2? Okay, I have to pause. Guys, we will take the calls at a later stage.
Hey, there's
right
this one
now,
person. I'm going to call his name now because he keeps on calling.
Wait, we're going to take calls at a later stage.
I
because
can see,
now the phone is disturbing me.
I can see.
Once you see me.
We will take the calls when we are done shooting.
Yes. Once you see me wearing this, it's time to call.
We will take the calls when we are done shooting.
Please, guys, we're back. We also want to understand what's going on. We can't speak and not understand or know what is going on, right? So host looked through the papers, right? And then he asked, did I give it in my statement? If it's not in my statement, why must I go look for something that is not on my statement, say? And Mnisi said, no. Host said, if it's not in my statement, why should I go look? It wasn't part of my duty to look for communication, part of my duty.
Look at how careless these people are.
He said his duty was to download and analyze the phone. But previous on with Ramusipili said he didn't download anything.
No, forget about that. This person comes in here. He's here to testify. He throw in words such as all the accused communicated.
Yes.
All the accused communicated. Not one accused communicated with the rest of the accused. All the accused communicated. There's just like a spider web.
Yes.
You know? So the line of questioning of Mnisi is correct. He is looking for that connection.
Yes.
That you said when you started. And
everyone is connected.
And you will see how this judge is moving. You just see, man. If you didn't see it today, I don't know when you'll ever see. He's moving weird. Like the judge is just moving weird. He changes things. He makes suggestions that are throwing people off. He's just awful. The man is awful.
It's bad. That's all I'm going to say. It's bad. So Mnisi said, understand my question, sir. Did you find that there was communication? Ho said, I didn't do the analysis on the communication. If it's not on my statement, I didn't pick up anything. Mnisi then said, so you could not find a linkage between accused number 3 and accused number 1. And Ho said, according to the downloads of Kennel Stain.
Yes.
That download was given to me in good faith because he was still in the police. So he did all the downloads. The numbers I've put on there, I found them from the database of Colonel Steyn after looking at this document, he said.
Let me show you the damage that, who's this guy? Veiws did by saying, yesterday,
and even the headline now.
Daily Sun.
Yeah, from the Daily Sun. The
Releases a headline that says, cell phone data links all suspect in Meyiwa case. Full stop.
Links all suspect.
You read this paper, according to you, you have wrong information.
But it's not their fault, the people who wrote. He did say it.
Hence I'm saying the damage that he's creating. If a paper can write like this, what is the judge writing?
And he's very much unwilling to rewrite that part. Nimbodile. There's no way he wants to rewrite that part. No way.
Continue.
Well, he said he didn't find any linkages. He eventually succumbed between accused number 1 and accused number 3. He's eventually.
Clearly. So now, not all suspects in Meyiwa case linked. That's a correct now version because of Mnisi.
Mnisi then moved on to ask if he found linkages between accused number 3 and accused number 2, Mncube and Ntanzi. Veiws asked if he could explain, and Mnisi said that he does not want him to explain. The judge tried to intervene by calling Mnisi, but Mnisi went straight. He wasn't even looking in his direction. I was like, yes, let him cook. And then Veiws said that he didn't do the section 205 and he didn't look for the linkages regarding accused number 3. That was not part of his work. That was not part of his work to link. That's what he's saying now.
But he's now contradicting himself. He said he was requested to link, to check if there's a link and also analyze the information that they get there. Now, it was not his information to link. It was not his job to link. It was not part of the things that he needed to do.
He went above and beyond.
Not to say he went above and beyond. He's disputing it.
He's saying he didn't.
He's accepting it. He's disputing it.
Then why on earth did he make that statement?
You see, all this stems from yesterday. Let me tell you where it comes from and why Mnisi is pissed about this thing. Veiws comes and say, I receive data from Steyn. I don't know what happened prior that. We accept that. Then the judge says, well, Steyn testify in any case. Isn't it so, Baloyi? And Baloyi accepts that, obvious. He went on, Veiws, saying that because I trust what I'm given, I worked with it. So, in a sense, saying I trust the database of Steyn. I trust Steyn. So I worked with it, and I can stand now in a court of law and testify with my chest out, as if I was part of that thing. Yet you are saying you had no prior knowledge of whatever that happened.
Today under cross-examination.
Now you keep on jumping out of that, accepting that actually I'm part of the team, actually I know what is happening, to I don't know what is happening. Your answers, by saying there was link with all suspects, they were linked, all of them. There's a spider web that links them. Vice versa. You even say, to even put that word, why I'm using the spider web vice versa. That means you'd call, someone would call, and then you'd call back. There's calling, basically, not one person calling them. Which today you claim that there was one person. You did towards the end of your evidence in chief talk about accused number 5 in a form of Lungsan, and then you said you link all these numbers to that, right?
So Ntuli, accused number 5,
which is Lungsan, according to your evidence. So then the judge, and then the court continued yesterday. I'm talking about yesterday, still yesterday. Yes, court continued. Then Mnisi stood to say that the font is not visible to him. Then that's where the judge started saying, can they enlarge it? Do you want me to take a break so that you can fix that and they can expand it for you? Because it seems as if he asked a host if he can see, and then he said yes. And then from there, but that font, that small font, was the start of the problem. That font, why did you use a small font when you have a better font? Why? You have a better one. Why do you use a small one? And then today, when you are asked about these things, about the very same thing that Mnisi did not see, that the judge said he must go be cramped in one corner there and be able to also take note, that Mnisi refused. And then he was told that a house will come and help him since he's the only one in this court who can see. Yeah, that's what the judge said. You want me to adjourn?
The shade of it all. I remember that part. And then when they came back from adjournment, I was hoping that it would be addressed, but it seemed like they had moved on. So I don't know whether the part where it was addressed was recorded or not. I don't know. But what I saw was a smooth moving on to the follow-up questions.
So why
I was left hanging.
Why was that font made to be small? Was the state trying to just bypass? Because that's how they deal. And from today and yesterday, I've been observing something.
What?
This judge, whether he knows prior or does not know prior, I don't know. But my observation tells me he's privy to the information, even discusses it, as the caller said yesterday. That's my observation. I'm not saying that's the case. Because what I see is that he talks when it's the right time. No, that's when he's angry most of the time. When something that is really going to be a problem at a later stage is picked up by the defense, he makes a lot of noise.
That font, he did overreact with that font situation yesterday.
Yeah, my daughter. Once you hear him saying that,
overreacting, and I wondered why. I just didn't understand what was happening.
Yes.
I'm like, why is it a big deal for Mnisi to want to see what is written there? Because what was written there is what House was saying when he was saying that he linked all the accused were linked and vice versa. It was written in a...
And then today, Mnisi is holding them
font
by the scrotum. He's holding them with the very same thing. You know why he remembers it?
Why?
Because a lot of things were said about him
in that moment,
such that he cannot see and all that. Because that's what those were shades. So now he remembers.
How can you forget?
And it starts there and it dwells there. And you trust Mnisi to finish it when he starts it. But look at this. Listen to how the judge, as you're still going to go there, listen to how the judge shift the goalpost from Mnisi. And I heard Mnisi, and I'll say this, I heard Mnisi. Mnisi is saying Mnisi did not say that the number was actually Ntanzi's number. He said the evidence in chief that was given while you were still dealing with the prior you dealing with accused number 2. And the judge didn't want to hear that after that. He was not ready. You know why?
Why?
Because when they come back, they want to come with that part where who's this guy host is giving evidence about accused number 5. The part where he said,
oh yeah,
they want to dwell on that. They are gonna, I bet you money, that's where they are going to dwell. They're gonna say, aha, we told you. This is where they're gonna overlook the whole beginning, the whole part at the beginning, and then where he says all accused, it shows that all accused were communicating with each other. So if you listen to Mnisi's line of questioning, he starts by saying, was accused 1 talking to accused 3? No. Accused 2 talking to accused. It's an elimination. To debunk the theory of all accused were talking to each other. To also suit the narrative that they've been pushing, to say that there is no link between number 1 and number 2. In fact, we agree when you say we have a link between accused 3, as the caller said. You remember that caller said, those 3, they can know each other.
Yes.
But these 2, Muzi and Ntanzi, they don't know accused. Even if they know them, they were not in talking terms.
Every day.
Yes.
For some friendship.
There was no form of friendship.
Calling each other every now and again.
Do you understand? That's what, but because many people, what they did when they went to search. I went back to that on the 17th thing. I listened. This guy is boldly saying it. After saying all these things, I got this data from Stein. He's saying, in fact, there was a link. There was a communication with all the accused. Vice versa. You know? So now they are going to dwell on that thing of, accused number 5. That's what he said. No. He said accused number 5 later. He was talking about something different now.
Covering accused number
it was
5
after he created the link of all these accused. In fact, as a reporter, if you were to report, you would say there is a link. An expert who analyzes an aspect of cell phones says all accused were communicating.
You're looking for a headline.
That's the headline that would say.
It was the headline.
That's the headline that will say. So it does not make sense for him to deny that. Now he's busy hammering on that. No, you are saying, I talked about accused number. Mnisi was saying, when you were giving evidence in chief, under accused number 2, you said there is a number.
Yes.
And then you later said, all of them were communicating with each other. Vice versa. You said that.
Well, host explained that they found 2 SIM cards from accused number 2 and they did not find accused number 3's contact in the SIM card. And Mnisi said, you said from the accused number 2's phone, there was communication between all the accused. And host said yes. And Mnisi said, you just told the court that you could not find linkage between accused number 1 and number 3. So how can you tell the court there was communication between all? How do you reconcile that statement? And House said, if you look at my statement, go read it. Mnisi and House now started shouting at each other.
He's not talking about the statement,
No.
the one that you wrote. And House on purpose kept on hammering on the statement. Because whatever, for some weird reason, whoever typed it, obviously was not going to say what you said in your evidence in chief. Right?
Yes.
Then you keep now referring. Please look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yay.
From what I know,
Spit.
evidence in chief weighs more than what you say in your statement.
True.
So what you said with your mouth is important.
On the record is
More than what you have written down there.
And to think that he was directed to read that part. But I see.
Yeah, well, you said to put that annex. You
put
said
that annex.
and that's an additional thing. It forms part of additional stuff. Why I'm saying that, Stein said there was no communication between one and two with the others. You know, you come and say there was communication with all of them, vice versa.
Yeah, Mnisi said that he shouldn't shout, and he said exactly what he's doing, referring to the shouting. And House said that exactly, how are you doing it how I am? And I was like, okay, I can't like much. The judge told the host to read it. And as he was reading, the judge was doing that whole mimicking thing that I was trying to do later on, Mr. Anonymous, earlier on, while you were talking about how it seems like, it's like he was, he wanted, if he could exchange and help.
No, this guy, hey, I don't know if you
know
watch
that thing that he does, guys.
That
I don't know
part,
how many guys of you see it
that
every
part,
time he does it.
It's not even miming in the wrong way now. He was miming exactly what House was saying. Exactly.
That's what I said. I thank you, cameraman, because
he was focused on him.
Thank you, cameraman, because he was saying what House was reading. That judge. What he was reading, House, was that the number of Ntuli, accused number 5 with cell phone number 27159512239, was saved under index 75 as Lungisani. And the number was identified by Colonel Stein and the investigation team. And through section 205, it was established that the number had various communication with all the other suspects. This is the second part that Mr. Anonymous is talking about. After he was done covering evidence in chief with the relation to accused number 5. Not the one he said, that bold statement he made before he covered evidence of accused number 2.
And that is where Mnisi is at.
Yes, Mnisi is there.
Whether they come back with that one of accused number 5 now to rectify the one that you said prior to reaching accused number 5 with facts or information that he was dealing with, Mnisi must not be swayed by the fact that he's not going to find, and I'm telling you, the records, he's not going to find where they said Ntanzi. They talked where they say Ntanzi's cell phone. They talked that number as if it fell under Ntanzi. And even in his explanation now, he's busy saying it's a number that came, I don't know how, I don't know what he was explaining there, this house guy. But it still comes as a number that is just floating, and it was used at the beginning.
So he said, no way it says that accused has with all the other suspects communication. Accused number 5. Now, he was shouting when he was saying all of this. So basically what he's saying is that Colonel Stein and the investigators found that number had communication after doing the section 205. And Mnisi asked to go and see accused number 3 after that. And Mnisi said that Mr. Mncube told him that there was no contact between himself, accused number 3, and Lungisani. He says he does not know him. And Hose said that comes from the database that he received from Colonel Stein. And there was a back and forth again that ensued between Mnisi and Hose over what Mnisi said were claims that all the accused made contact with each other. Hose maintained that he said that accused number 2's phone had accused number 5's number saved as Lungisani, and accused number 5's number was found to have made contact with all the other accused. And later on, Mr. Host tells Mnisi that he must get his perspective right. He must listen at the right time. And the judge giggled at that, what he was saying. Veiws said that the number of Ntuli was saved on the index number 75, and the number that was identified by Colonel Steyn, and it was established after Section 205 that the number, not accused number 2's number, but accused number 5's number, had communication with all the other suspects, and he never said accused number 2. So now literally he was changing what he had testified yesterday under evidence in chief with Advocate Baloyi.
And that number 5 was there. We are not disputing that number 5. It was there. Eventually, you talked about number 5 calling other people.
But you are blanketing what
But now
you
we are
said.
using one blanket now
Yes.
to say that actually that's what I meant. If you said that, we would accept it.
True.
And then we will deal with that if there is indeed a link between all these accused through accused number 5. Through accused number 5 is alleged cell phone number.
So Mnisi asked that the record be played back. He said that the claim was made yesterday at the beginning of his statement. The judge said Veiws was never going to change what he says. And Mnisi said that he is not sure if after listening to the record he will still maintain what he's been saying or not. And Baloyi said that he said exactly what it said on the paragraph from the affidavit, standing by Veiws, saying, look, literally Baloyi was standing by Veiws in blanketing everything, including what was said at the beginning, with the statement to say that only accused number 5 was linked to everyone.
Ridiculing all the accused, making them look more guilty. That statement was bold.
It was very bold.
That statement is not something to be looked at like and say it was a mere mistake. This man introduced himself in a manner that I'm not going to take accountability of what I say after this. You know, that issue of saying, hey, I'm not the one. This is Steyn. It's like you want to lie on behalf of Steyn, right? You know, that to me it sounds like that. And then after that you come and erase everything that was said by Steyn by saying there was a communication with all the accused.
Because Steyn did not say that. Steyn did not link all the 5 accused.
No.
He did not. He linked whoever he was given, and he linked whatever he linked. But I remember specifically with accused number 2, there was not much linkage there. It was hardly even mentioned, Ntanzi, when it came to the cell phone of Steyn.
He was relaxed.
Yes. But now, Veiws, who just got a promotion and has taken the position of Steyn, takes the work of Steyn, and now he comes with this bold statement to say that all the accused are linked to each other. And he begins his testimony with that bold statement that is written with fine print on the document.
Yeah, my judge.
It's very sus. Suspicious. It's very sus. And then court officials looked for that part in the recording, and they went through the record to establish what exactly
and conveniently trust these so-called court officials. These people, when it suits them, the record is going to be played. When it doesn't,
it doesn't get played.
There's a problem.
Speaker. The problem had the speaker, the loudspeaker couldn't play. And I'm like, since when does this court play back the record with loudspeakers? It has never happened before, actually, now that I think about it. They would ask for an adjournment and listen with the headphones or whatever equipment.
They have at some point. Remember they were almost sitting the whole day listening to something.
But that was not the court record. It was a recording from another
court. Yes, you are right.
Whenever they go back to the record, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've seen how they get up. They get up and then they listen via their headphones, and then they all back. Say, yes, that's how it works. Isn't it how it works? But today, all of a sudden, it must play with loudspeaker. When we've never in that court seen such thing taking place. The only thing that they play at loudspeaker are recordings that they got from external. For example, court proceedings that were played from the other courts, Zandi's interview with ENCA, those type of things. Those are the things that they play or record. The recording of Miss Cronje that we did not see, but I'm betting it was on loudspeaker in that court.
All right. Guys, let's like the video. Please, let's push the video. I see we have 602 people. Please, let's like the video. Give us energy, guys. We are doing all we can on our side. So also on your side, please do what is right by sharing and liking and subscribing, becoming a member also of this channel. And we have stickers, people who would like to do like Sister Esther, I think. They are welcome.
Thank you, Sister Esther. And also thank you, Ned, for reminding everybody. There's 633 of you guys and only 300 likes. Do you want me to start begging again? Less than 300 likes. Do you want me to beg? Do you want me to beg you to like the video? Then Baloy said that normally it is audible and they have done it in the past. Baloy is saying that they've had to re-listen to the record of the same court from a previous day or a previous sitting. They have done it before. I missed that part. In the last 2 years, I have missed it. Count me out of this, Advocate Baloy. I don't know what he's talking about.
Maybe they're talking Dinova. Dinova they did, actually.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, they did.
The recording person said that they wanted to check the speakers, and the judge asked where Host's previous person, Ustein. He asked a very funny question, where Stein retired to. And Host said that he's in the Western Cape and he bought himself a beach cottage. And I was like, okay.
Nice stuff, nice lifestyle.
And then there were jokes in there as they were waiting about rugby or something. And the record was played.
I can admire of these people, eh?
And the record was played from a laptop, and a CD was retrieved from the court's recording machine and placed in the laptop in order for everyone to hear. But the machine could not play out the loud speaker enough for everyone to hear. So the judge said that the chief administrator says that the sound cannot be amplified from those gadgets. So another gadget will be brought tomorrow. So they would rather wait for the whole sitting where everybody listened than do it how they initially did it, where one they get up and they listen. That could not be done. Well, the judge said that Mnisi must continue his cross-examination with the version that House said that accused number 2 made contact with all the accused. And Mnisi said that that would not be fair because he wants to confront him with the record. Turns out Mnisi was not wrong from yesterday's court proceedings. Host did say, and I quote, "It shows there was communication between all the accused before court. There was communication vice versa between all the accused." Host revealed that there was communication between Ntanzi and Fiso Buhle. He did do it, you guys. I don't know if the recording is there or it can be played or it just end up.
One thing I can say, Emily, is what we talked about before this, is that transcript, Mnisi must not use that transcript. Must use the recording. If they don't want to give him the recording, there is a SAPC here. They will have to accept it because I guess it's their problem.
Well, the judge read Ho's statement, and Ho said that there's an amendment. The judge read that part that obviously favors Ho's. It says the number was identified by Colonel Stein through Section 205. It was established that the number had various communications with all the other class acts according to the database received from Colonel Stein. This is with relation to accused number 5's number. And Mnisi was telling the judge that it was when he was testifying pertaining to information relating to accused number 2. And the judge told him to go to the other parts of the cross-examination or to go on with his version that it was number 2 and not number 5. Then they can reconcile the versions thereafter when they have printed the record. And I'm like, okay, so now we're moving to the printed record. Why wait for it to get printed? Why can't you just listen with the headsets, have witnesses, other people, if you feel like maybe it's not fair, or have everyone go there one by one to listen to the recording?
Transcribers can write their nonsense.
Transcribers are human beings, and human beings make mistakes.
And human beings can be accessible.
And human beings are accessible. So the record listened to is fine. There's no need for it to wait for it to get printed. And the reason why the postponement was made more or less to Tuesday by Advocate Balo is because he knows that the printed transcripts are going to be available after 3 days.
And why would you choose that? Why would you choose transcript? While there's a video, while there's a record, while there's a sound, and you can just listen. Than reading.
Why is the judge making this whole thing so difficult? That's what I want to know.
You know, when they talk about this transcript, it's like they're talking about something that is perfect.
Has no mistakes. Well, Mnisi said that it will be difficult for him to cross-examine on the basis of suppositions. The judge said Mnisi must continue on what he argues, and Baloi suggested that the aspect can be left out altogether. So for me, this felt like another way and another attempt that we've seen before in the past to just kind of throw off the entire cross-examination, to just throw you off. The moment they start saying, leave this out, it interrupts the process of the flow of the cross-examination. But Mnisi handled the situation well, in my opinion, because he continued to ask questions, and he asked paragraph 6 of your statement to speak about accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, and only later on accused number 5. It was within the context of accused number 2 that you said that the number which was saved on the database indicated that there was a communication amongst all the accused. You said that in relation to the information that you received as it relates to accused number 2 and not accused number 5. And House told him to look at the annexure 6, and Mnisi said that he won't go anywhere. Mnisi
Yes,
they were taking him to annexure 6.
That's how you deal with this judge. Please like the video, guys. Reminder again, please like the video. Please share the video. Please subscribe. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe.
Well, House said that if he would have said that accused number 2 had communication with all the other suspects, then he would have had accused number 2's number in the middle, where he was talking about accused number 5 and all the other communications. The number that was found on accused number 2, that number was put into the database, and that number had communication with all the other suspects. He said, I never ever said that the number of accused number 2 was of one of the numbers that had communication with any other suspect. So Mnisi said, I put it to you that you are changing your version now so that it suits the information that you want this court to hear in your evidence in chief. You never said that. And House said, my lord, I can't change my version because I read exactly from the statement that was in front of everybody. So I read it according to the statement. I couldn't say because 2 instead of 5. Well, you did read. You were told to read. But the part you read this as well.
They are asking you about evidence. Viva voce.
Viva voce.
As Steve Vovo would say. Viva voce.
Well, Mnisi said in essence, this is what Mncube is going to say, that it is true that there could not be a linkage between him and accused number 1 because he never knew him. He only started to know him in Boksburg in relation to this case. That's when he started to know him. Ho said that's 100%. I can't dispute that. And Mnisi said he also said that it is not strange that there could be no linkage between him and accused number 2 because he never knew him. They only met when they appeared in Boksburg in relation to this case. And he never called him. He just did not know him. And House said, I didn't testify about communication between accused number 3 and number 2. I didn't say, I can't say if there were linkages. And Mnisi said, in respect of accused number 4 and number 5, he says he knew them from a long time ago and they were communicating. I mean, we can even see with how they sit in court, in my opinion.
They're in groups.
Yeah, they sit. The 3, accused 4, 5, and 3 sit together. Accused number 1 and accused number 2, they sit together. There's a gap there in between. So it just goes to show who bonds with who more. Then Mnisi said, you are saying that you are not in a position to testify about the dates and times, the sportswear, because it might have been made or received and etc. That is not within your domain. And Mnisi said that he will pause his cross-examination until the record is played. Then he can take it from there. Advocate Nxumalo for accused number 4 said that he was not able to finish his consultation because he did not receive the section 205 of the 2 numbers said to belong to his client, Mthokoziseni Maphisa. And Advocate Baloyi
one
said
of them
that
belongs to his client and the other belongs to Ntuli, allegedly.
how?
Yeah.
But he's saying that he doesn't have them.
Yes, for both of those numbers, yes.
Advocate Baloyi said that the defense was furnished to the data on a disk, and they will also be bringing an expert from the service provider. If he does not have questions for the witness, then he can leave them for the expert. Baloyi said that the state, they said that the gadgets that they were using could not decipher the disk. The defense, my apologies. They said that, I mean, laptops today don't have that thing where you put the disk.
I don't understand where these courts are still getting those old gadgets.
Either. And he said that they downloaded the information on a memory stick, but they were only informed yesterday by Advocate Nxumalo that the device cannot read the disk, and they said he should provide them with a memory stick. That's where the discussion ended. And the judge asked that it's not correct when Mr. Nxumalo says he doesn't have that information. He has it, it's just that his disk cannot download it. Baloyi said that's what he told them yesterday. And the judge said, when did you finish, Mr. Nxumalo, with the memory stick? Baloyi said that he said that if he provides us with a memory stick, then he will be able to download the information. So yesterday was when Nxumalo came with that memory stick to download the information. After that, Nxumalo comes back and says, Section 205 for the 2 numbers that are linked to my client are not there. And I cannot consult with my client without that section 205. Well, the
and
judge...
then they decide to misunderstand him.
Yeah. And shout at him.
Hey.
And make it about black lawyers again.
Hey.
Akafundi. How many times does he need to get dragged to understand that he can't make statements like that anymore? You cannot disrespect people based off the color of their skin. You can't do that. It's unacceptable. And do it in such a public platform.
Now you want to operate as if you're one of them. Right now you are perfect.
Well, Baloyi said that when they adjourned yesterday, his colleague told him that he did give Mr. Nxumalo the memory card download.
No, Ned. Nxumalo is not slow. You don't understand.
He's not.
There are a lot of things that he prevented by not cross-examining on that. Because he was going to cross-examine on the information that is wrongly obtained. If it is wrongly obtained, look at the gap that Mr. Vaseline is asking for.
2
If that information was part
plus
of the files
the
that they said, Nxumalo, what Nxumalo was saying there is that I have went through these files. There is no section 205 form here about these 2 numbers in particular that I want to focus on.
Yes.
That's what he was saying. And then they made it as if it's there, my lord. Maybe we can focus on those numbers and assist. Our technician can do that, can assist, right?
Yes.
Well, they go on a break, they come back, they don't find it.
Anything.
That's what Baloyi was failing to do. He did not want to say, my lord, it's not there. What he does is that they will give time to the person who's going to look for this
The expert.
as if it's there. It's not there. It's still going to be concorded.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. They're still gonna concord. Allegedly.
So I think now we can take calls
Right.
because people have been burning.
And then
take calls.
we will take calls. And then we go further. When Nxumalo tries to explain that, no, my lord, this thing is not there, the judge is now interested in giving more time. How much time do you need? This is how Rata moves. How much time do you need? But since now it's Baloyi who's asking for that. How much
Yes.
time do you need? He later on does not give even that time. He actually does in a form of the court is not gonna stand down.
Yes,
It's
but
gonna continue.
for what Nxumalo is asking for,
Yes,
it can be done on Tuesday.
They stood it down.
Yeah.
So the witness is not gonna come there.
Yes.
This is it's not gonna continue.
Yes.
Yes. So that's what is happening. And that's how Baloyi has been moving all along. You talk about your statements, the Ntanzi statements and everything else. That's how he collapses it. Now the good thing about this one
Yes.
is that the witness is not done. So he must deliver. And then obviously they are going to deliver because the date can be backdated. Yeah. You write the day where you want to.
And then Mnisi was saying that he's fine, he can continue because he's sure of what he is saying and he's waiting for the record. But he can continue tomorrow because on Tuesday he says he won't be available.
Is it the damage? Mnisi was mad also there. The damage that could happen if you continue asking. I'll tell you what could happen. They could come and say, do you see accused number 5? Yes, they are saying accused number 5, as we are saying.
Yes.
So all the work that you'd have done, because Mnisi is still going to fight for what was said at the beginning. I promise you that. It's still going to be a fight before a judge maybe concede. Obviously, he's going to concede. Because he's not going to back down. So, before the judge concedes, Mnisi is still going to fight. So, what happens if the judge does not concede? After you cross-examine, your cross-examination was on that direction.
Yes.
In fact, it was hammering on that. It's a good thing that Nxumalo did. Because next thing you come and by virtue of you asking questions about something that was wrongly obtained, you cannot reverse that.
No, it's already on the record.
It's already on the record. Now, when you want to argue that, no, but this thing actually was wrongly obtained, but the judge is
Which
going to
is
say, but you should have raised it.
The same traps that they have been falling in.
Yeah, they set these traps.
have been
Now they are
falling
growing
over
into
the
understanding that
months.
forget about this so-called time wasting that they always claim when the defense is asking. When Baloyi asks for it, it's not time wasting.
No.
The judge is willing to listen. Look at how the judge moves. He dismisses Nxumalo's explanation of what happened during the break. In fact, they did not find Section 205 form
For the two
numbers.
Yeah.
It's not there.
But it was like
The
move
judge
on.
now is not even listening, is speaking on top of him. It's like, so what? How many days do you want?
How
Then
about
he
an
later,
apology first?
yes, it's not gonna happen.
How about you apologize because you are
He's not even
accusing
asking-
me
he's
of
not-
not knowing what
Yes.
was in the memory stick and what has been
You've even
downloaded.
classified me. You're a classist of note.
You said, we. What is wrong with us? We. What do you mean? Like,
Yeah, he did well, Nxumalo. I know why he
is
did
supposed to
that
be done.
because he's more into detail.
Yes.
When he
pays
asks about
attention to
facts
detail.
in paper. So if he doesn't have, what do you expect him to put his line of questioning?
How about an apology? Yes, I am sorry for assuming that you did not look at the evidence prior. And he was even saying, you had 8 months. You had 8 months. Why couldn't? And then Ramasipili gets in between there, causes some more confusion by saying that, yes, they received them last year, and he acknowledged that
No,
it was
you can't
received.
blame Ramasipili.
And then
The judge
also says that, but Ramasipili is the one who spoke for us.
No. I know we've blamed Ramasipili for everything. Unfortunately, he's the weakest link in terms of where the judge's eyes fall. Most of the time, when he wants to accept something, he uses him, and he cannot lie. I mean, he's in court. You cannot lie and say I didn't get that thing. He cannot lie. He's supposed to tell the truth.
That I didn't even know that you got it last year. Ihaba, the over-exaggeration. I didn't know that you got it last year.
Look at how the judge takes. He is still explaining, we got it last year. He was still going to continue and say, but we couldn't retrieve it. We went through this. He did not give him that chance. He did not give him that chance to say it himself, that actually I'm the one who was tasked to go there and tell the states that we cannot retrieve this information. I did that. The judge is like, yeah, what? Last year? It becomes a big issue now. Let's like the video, and now we can start calling.
Hi, it was a mess, Shem. It was a bloodbath. It was World War III today. Yeah, but Ngumalo is calm. He's very calm. Kudos to him. I mean, in that situation, it could have went left.
Good evening, Mr. Anonymous and beautiful Emily. If ngikhumbula kahle ngathi uNtanzi wathi ifoni yakhe obehlala eyizwa ekhala epocketini la Mkhula or Mkhano, I can't remember, but ifoni yakhe was always in some of the in one of those two. So
In his testimony.
yeah, kusho ukuthi vele beyisebenza vele all along. If lokho kuyiqiniso.
We'll check that. My memory is failing me.
To listen to Ntanzi's
We'll check that, but we'll check that.
Let me go. I need to check it. Where can I write it?
Good evening, Mr. Anonymous and Emily. Just a quick question. As we are watching this proceeding as they are going on now, based on all the evidence that has been produced up until now, if the judge has to make now a decision, on what is he going to make a decision now currently? Is the robbery gone wrong? Or is it a hit? Because up until now, I'm still trying to puzzle everything together and none of these two versions fit.
Good question. Mzansi, hello.
Ngiyabingelela sisi uphuthu njani?
Siyaphila mfethu njani?
Hayi siyaphila.
Yebo.
Yazi izolo ngizamile ukuthi ngimhlole ngazumeka ngenxa ukuthi bengikhathele, but uyazi ukuthi into ebengifuna ukuyisho yavele yenzeka namhlanje ukuthi iyodwa indlela yokuwina leli cala. Ayikho enye khona njengamanje. Uyabona ngalesikhathi uZungu esuka ethi kuye KZN uyolanda amalokhu zangabuyanga nawo. Kwakufanele bengaqhubeki bengawatholile lamafomu. Uyayibona bebona?
Yeah.
Behlale nje kukho ekuthenini siya mangabe kusho ukuthi uZungu kwakufanele nje bume lapho ubufakazi bakhe bungaqhubeki ehambe kanje ngoba namhlanje yabo nje ubunximale kuhanjwe kanjena nje uRatha into ayenzile uRatha uyayazi bayikhuluma lento nobantu and uRatha uhlakaniphile uRatha njengoba ethi akubuye eksasa kubuye nomunye ufakazi uyazi ukuthi kungahle ngasa attend indaba yalo ngathi ngasa attend indaba yalo ngenxa yokuthi uRathi uyabona yazi lento yenzeke kanjani ukuze ifike ibe kulesimo ekusona yazi abantu abayiboni lento lento lena ithema iqedwe kwenzeka lapha ubaba kaMeyiwa waye expose ukuthi umuntu usendlini uyayibona leyo nto
yebo
yes bambake nabuka ubufakazi obushiwo uSifiso Meyiwa uthi uSifiso Meyiwa kune docket elibopha uGininda noBaloyi elikubaloyi yes so ngalesi sikhathi kubosha uGininda noBaloyi base beqoqa yonke lento ngokusheshsha bayothi ifuhle lapha yabo so mangabe befuhlela lapha nenkantolo ukuthi akuvulekele licala kufunwa laba bantu uyabona nangendlela okwakubanjwa ngabo labafana benziswa lezi ukuthi kwafuneka vele abantu abastrong ngoba lo number 3 no number 4 no number 5 bashupha benziwa yonke into bangavuma ngenxa ukuthi bajwayele laba bavuma so ubufakazi babo into yokuqala obuyenzile bugxile ekuthenini ubuso beSouth Africa yonke abubuke laba bantu ukuthi ibona yabo uvela nje lama confirm kwabo kuthiwa kwenziwa ngaphandle kokuphoqwa ingani ngoba kwenzelwa ukuthathwa ubuso beSouth Africa ukuthi ikhole eSouth Africa ukuthi laba bantu abenze lento so uma icala liqhubeka sekuyacaca ukuthi akusekho ufakazi osabizeka even nakulabo basendlini ukufakazi sebeyaphambana nalento econfesswe lapha nekade isetshenziswa ukuze kuvumeke lama confirmation yayibona leyo so into eyenzeka lana ke njengamanje uyabona ukuthi ubufakazi obizwayo sebeya expose ukuthi banamanga yabo sekuvele yonke lento ngama ngoba iyaphamba angithi ngibona ukuthi uBaloyi wenzeni ufike uBaloyi wanqaba ukuthi uMakhubo eze nalabo ofakazi ayibabiza umngubezo laba uthi uzobasebenzisa angithi ubiza amaphoyisa yini engababizi angithi uyabona ukuthi njengoba engababizi ingani ngoba inkinga iqala la ekuthenini ke manje akasenayo umuntu azombiza ekhulume into eqondana nalento esiyenzekile la enkantolo yabo umbonile nakhona ukuthi so indlela yokuphunyuka ile yaphunyuka ngayo njengoba efuna ukuphunyuka futhi nenqumalo yokuthi hayi kube ngasinto ikhona kukhulunyelwe phezulu kwezinto ezingekho kube ngathi ikhona so iyodwa indlela yokwina leli icala laba bantu ukuthi mangabe kuke kwakhona nje okungekho bevele beme kukho bethi hayi so sebenzela kuloko sacela ukuthi sibhekele lokusiza sikuthola ubufakazi angithi ijaji ke ngosuku lokugcina mase kwenziwa izethulo kuyolimazwa ngokuthi kuthiwa hayi ubufakazi bukaSpain asubusebenzisi ngoba wagcina ehambile nje eyolanda ukuthi wangabuya nabo nobukabani asikwazi ukusebenzisa obukazi ngoba wahamba ethi uya KZN yabo so alizukuba nayo into ephathekayo egcineni ngani ngoba vele kusukela manje into nento abazoyenza izophambana yabo so sekuyiyona ndlela abanayo abangenza ngayo manje ukuze bewinele licala ngoba uyabona uRathi uhlakaniphe kabi uRathi ngithe uRathi uyayazi lento even wona lama record okuthiwa awakhulumi lapha ngahle kwenza nabo labana bayazi ukuthi ayikho into erecordwa lapha uRathi uyabhala awukumnothisa uRathi uyabhala njengoba ngasho nasekuqaleni uRathi uyabhala mangabe kukhuluma lapha laba ofakazi kodwa makubhala mangabe kukhuluma abameli sebebabuza akabhali lutho kunalokho vele ebambelela ebusweni umbona udiniwe noma ekhulume yedwa umbona ukuthi uyashashada nje lo baba yabo ingoba ayikho into vele ilokhu uzaya ukuzogweba lapha so manje indlela yokum-expose ke enkulu kakhulu eyokuthi vele ubufakazi manje sebuzophambana kakhulu abangaqhubeki abameli abavele beyimise njengoba kumisa unxumano nje yebo icala yabona nje abantu ngibonile ukuthi abantu baphatheke kabi ngenxumano abangajahi ngani ngoba once bajaha vele akuzukwenzeka lokho esikufunayo
yebo
kungcono ukuthi leli cala kuthiwa lidonse u4 years kunokuthi kuthiwa ligwebo oNtanzi abengazanga lutho ababe nje kanje uyabona nje mangabe kuukuthi akabuyi nabo abavele besho bethi hayi kusho ukuthi azivele sikumisa ubufakazi bakho ngani ngoba akukho kuyikhona khona okusisekelayo ukuthi siqhubeke nabo ngoba yabona ubukazungu ukuthi bathathwa bafakwa basebenza kodwa ubufakazi bazonezinto ezahanja ziyofuna kwamisa ikhoti bathiwa hayi iyozingene ngomsombuluko akabuye nakho akahambe yokulanda eKZN wabuye ngakuphethe emva kwalokho kwaqhubeka kwafanele beme khona lapho kuthiwa hayi no kahle vele umbuzo wami ubukade ugxile kakhulu kulokhu so njengoba kungekho nje sacela uvele simise ubufakazi bakho yabona leyo ngoba ayisekho into esingakhosemisa yona so nje ziningi inkinga ezikuleli icala kodwa okukhulu kakhulu ukuthi vele njengamanje usuzobona ufakazi nofakazi uzobizwa uzovela okukhulu kakhulu njengoba ubonile nje ukuthi nalo ugcine ekade ebiziwe ufakazi nawe waqamba amanga wathi ulokhu thina la kwaNongoma asinawo ulicensing uno 2 years ukhona besikade mangabe sifuna kwa licensing besiyolundi yes mangabe kuthiwa uMaphisa waya kwa licensing kwaNongoma wawuphi licensing kwaNongoma licensing kwaNongoma uno 2 years even namanje kwakhiwa i-testing ground khane soqala ukuthi kwenziwe nama-learners kuqale cishe 2 years back kwenziwa ama-learners khane kuzoqala test drive wakhona la kaNongoma
yes
into engekho yonke nje le nto into engekho mina ngiyabadabukela abantu abakholwa le nto ngani ngoba khona into oyibuka ikude kanti kusasa izobuye bekuwe ngoba uyabona lapho kwasefuneka umuntu emgwaqeni ozongena nje ethe indawo efana nekaMakhimba kwafakwa lo Ntanzi so manje mangabe kuukuthi uyakholwa wena ngonxa ukuthi uzwe kuthiwa khona inkabi nanginobheka icele uyaveza ukuthi inkabi enkulu le yane unumber 5 laba bese uyitshela laba abantu yes bazinkabi siyavuma kodwa abangaboshelwa icala abangalenzanga ababoshelwe umkabi babo namacala abawenzile
yebo
so nje injalo nje le nto kodwa nje iyona ndlela eyodwa yokulwina manje leli icala kodwa ngabe ijala ukuthi basazokhuluma ngeke ngani ngoba uratha yikho into ayilalelayo mabe khuluma bona usubamba lamadlebe ngisho uyabona bangathiwa khona ungambuza ukuthi wathini ubani umbona eqeda ukuthi lo akazwanga lutho ukuthi bebethina abameli
yebo
bayafana njengey'ntatheli lezi ey'phezulu lezi zemisakazo lephezulu eyivele ibhale ubone ukuthi kahle lapha sekuthengwe wonke umuntu la kwajaji kwabani kwayintatheli fanele ziveze nje ubufakazi bubachitha laba bantu behamba bemgodini omnyama ngiyabonga
siyabonga kakhulu
Oh, the caller said a lot of things.
Yes, there's a lot of things. The gist of
problem, it began with Zungu. Allowing him to go and look for a statement.
They've been doing that a lot.
And then coming back and using the very same compromised statement to testify. It was
Zanzi, hello. Hello.
How are you doing, Mr. Ano and the beautiful Emily?
Hi.
Good.
Yeah, good. You're speaking to Nete. So.
Hi, Nete.
Yeah. So I've watched something and this was very interesting.
Yes.
And if you have watched today, what went down, the spider web that they're using is closing on them. They think they've got the victims, but they don't. Because if you have noticed, especially when it comes to Mr. Mnisi, for the point that he raised today, they were very valid. And when it comes to when he was speaking about what host, whatever is giving the evidence according to his knowledge and to what they did, it's actually not relating, because what's happening is Mnisi host said what he said. And if you looked at Rata, he always says he listens and he's writing down.
Yes.
I think they are well aware that host said that. And why I'm saying that is because of the way he wanted to move away from it. Because he knows Rata is very smart. He had what he had and he wanted to move as fast. And if you can remember when Baloyi was asked how do we proceed, Baloyi was even quick to say we can leave it.
Yes.
Because of he knows they're very well aware of what is happening. And what he said yesterday, they were trying to pin the second accused, which is Ntanzi. But the things are not meeting. doesn't make sense. So it's not making sense of why is Ntanzi tried, because he's the only one pin one. And if they can pin Ntanzi, then they want to pin everyone. And it's not going to happen from what is happening in the court. And one thing that Host was, if there's one thing I've been IT, if there's one thing I love about technology, technology doesn't get wasted, or the data will always there to tell the truth. And for the mere fact of, if they have that the number was plotted, they should have found out when was the number plotted. But they didn't do that because it was not Ntanzi who did it. Allegedly. It means someone did it on his behalf. And that is the jinx of it. So, but I just wish and hope, because Mr. Mnisi won't be there on Tuesday. I just pray that Mnisi brings a white person, just for interest sake, just to see what's going to happen. Because it seems like this judge, when he's speaking to the white people, he praises them all, he sees himself as one of them. Just for interest sake, just to see how he's going to behave. I can tell you he's not going to be comfortable. Yeah, so I think that is my 2 cents of value that I can add to the channel, and keep on doing the good work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
All right,
Nate.
thanks.
Yeah.
Right. Let us get into that. What the caller also was saying is that they only had, what do they call that? Transport? Is it driving?
License department for the driving. Remember the evidence with regards to that? Well, the caller who was speaking in isiZulu was saying that Nongoma, they don't have a driver's license testing center, and they were saying that
they didn't have, but 2 years back.
2 years back. And they're saying that accused number 4 did his learners at KwaNongoma, which didn't exist.
No, I think there's someone who visited that. I think the evidence was that someone visited
Nongoma licensing a tester.
Yes.
And it didn't exist. That's the gist of it. It didn't exist. So what do we make of such evidence?
Yeah, guys, just like the video. Continue calling. I'll continue taking your calls. Mzansi, hello, be patient with me. Hello.
Hello, that's anonymous guy.
Is William Re?
Retain that waka. That anonymous.
Yes, sir.
Negative six that anonymous. Bafana Bafana trungu. Kadi truth. That June, eh? Ke hokena new government. Ki di love ya new government. Kadi truth that June. So do it was hala monana. You only believe in that anonymous. Ke reshuffle ya cabinet ya yeni ya khali na reshuffle, and then the president yena auto retire wa resign clar, and then but what we can mo new cabinet ha ino dumela ntwene etsa hala ya rata never ever ha ona mo bafana ba batho gwebelwa mahala bao kanyo democracy ya South Africa from 29 May, after 29 May. How not do that? What is happening? It's not Kalakakai. Hona go the minister sama police ko fela ba Maya, but it ko fela ba Maya. We can have a so you cabinet. I don't do me about one. Never. Do it from Hojima Poro. Luwa advocate wana wanto wola zukina kal advocate ma was everyone tifo baatwa, and then ona la bakena bata jikana munyako mana ubula gate utswa botifo ona la bakena o rata o resign kisi o to ikwela total all yena ka buyena total ha ona mutata gube wa mona na ka after 29 May ka after reshuffle o to gube wa to ka dwete Onzo ibona wena I know it's never ever. But what about close about? Bana batama ka ofela batama bana re tsala taba le bona. Thank you that. Thank you holo.
Thank you. Thank you that.
Well, the little summary. He's saying that after the 29th of May, all of them are going to be gone. All of these people that are trying to convict the Ntanzi, they are going to be gone because there will be a new government. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but sizobona khona.
That is if you vote also, not correct. You vote. Please like the video, guys. Let's just push it to 400 or 500. 668. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir, how are you?
Yes, Emily Manaminwas.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
We're
Good.
good, and you?
Yes. Yeah, it's Vusi again, yeah.
Hi, Vusi.
Hi. Guys, I just want to be short on this one.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are like getting confused about this whole thing about technology and stuff like that. In South Africa, there's what is called RICA. So why do we have to be asking about cell phone numbers that they bring to say, does this cell phone number belong to Ntanzi? Does it belong to Ntuli? It's simple. All these guys, if they record their numbers, just go and pull the report and say, here's the report. It's a record other Ntanzi, ID number so and so, address so and so. This number belongs to Ntanzi. The same way, Ntuli. But why should you have to ask this? Is this a phone number for Ntuli? No, it's because it's linked through Truecaller. What is Truecaller? When numbers are recorded. What is Truecaller? I think that's just a waste of time. This case is just a waste of time.
Yes.
I don't know why, South Africans, they allow to be manipulated the way things are happening, because we just been told things that are not there, they're not true. It's just a waste of time, because it's simple. If they say this number belongs to Ntanzi, bring proof. Where is the proof? Where is the RICA documents? Where is the RICA that if it's MTN, MTN must actually produce proof that Ntanzi record that number under his name. Simple like that. So guys, I just wanted to contribute this. But I think this case is just a waste of taxpayers' money, a waste of time, and
Yes.
I think there are better things to be done than to be, wasting time on this case.
Yes.
That was just my 2 cents contribution, guys.
Thank
you
you
for
calling.
a great job, great work. We're following you, but I think I just need to join you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be joining very soon.
Okay, not a problem.
So that I can actually give my support to you guys. Yeah.
Thank
you.
you.
Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
and good
much.
night.
Yes, I mean, one would imagine that, okay, in a hypothetical situation.
Emil, before you put that, someone is actually concurring with the caller, saying that, yes, the caller is right about Ntanzi, said his phone was with one of the police. So 2 people.
Nice 2 people. All right, that are confirming.
And then someone is saying, Emily and Mr. Numa, stay in, rain away. He said, and easy. This guy thought he would stand the heat, yet he nearly cried.
No, Stein Begatiki within the last day of his testimony. He didn't want to go back. He can't be miserable in his retirement. He wants to go and look at the beach and not have stress.
Hi everybody, I just wanted to state a few things. Firstly, I don't think the judge's change in demeanor, tone, and certain things are purely based because the first accused has retained the services of this new lawyer. And this new lawyer has stated in open court, that he doesn't agree with the judge's behavior, he doesn't agree with the judge's interference, and he doesn't agree with the manner in which he conducts his court, openly so. So, Judge Rata has now changed his tune a little bit. He is now trying to cover his tracks in situations so that if they have to file any subsequent documentation or a complaint against him later on in the future, he can say, oh, but look, 1, 2, 3. Oh, but look, I gave leniency here. Look, I did this. They can't just highlight one point or one bad thing that I did in court as the Bible. So he is moving according to that, firstly. Secondly, I do not think that Steyn wanted to be part of this case any further because he dealt with the information, he testified in court, and with the evidence that he did testify to, it is not enough or efficient information to convict people on. It was hearsay, it was wishy-washy at best, saying, no, this one called, accused number 5 called Kelly Kumalo for 2 minutes, called again on this date, and the towers were from Polokwane when the situation happened in another place, in another province altogether. So the evidence was not linking to what they wanted. They brought him on, and him saying, I got this information from Steyn in good faith. As an analyst, you are not allowed to take somebody's word in good faith unless you have gone through it. You have to go through it. Is more importantly, if you're going to go to court and testify on it. You have to go through every single thing yourself. Find out where they found this. If you're analyzing SIM cards, you have to put them in yourself and analyze the data you find on your own first. It doesn't matter that you're getting it from somebody. Yes, you'll cross-reference, but you have to do it yourself. He continues to say this because that's what they told him he can work on. They told him he can't get the cell phones. They told him he can't get the SIM cards. They told him he doesn't have, they no longer have access to those things. But Steyn did it. So use what he gave you in essence. And also to add to that, he also was found wanting in a lot of situations with the dates and with the times and how this information was found, because it is very easy to find information such as that if you are using softwares like he is claiming he is doing to find.
Oh, Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Anonymous.
Hi, how are you?
And Emily.
Yes, hi.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. Asipiyele nemuva if ngiyakhumbula kahle kulabafana abawu2 bebeyobhema laphayana benosenzo I can't remember ukuthi what's their names konje
Mthobo no Ntumela.
Yebo, bathi bona uma bebuya one of them ubebhema ngithi.
Yes.
So the other one, wathi kulo obebhema, he must wash his hands before bengena endlini. And then wathi yena, the time Lo was washing the hands, bezwa umdumo omkhulu endlini. Umsindo bangaba niyakhumbula kahle. Please just go back to that. Wathi kwaba khona umsindo omkhulu abawuzwa endlini, and then something disturbed them. I can't remember ukuthi ubaloyi or who kwabe sekukhatha lapho. And uNxumalo noticed that because he mentioned it uma elokoza embuza ibibuzo laphaya. Kwaba sewuratha othi umsindo wani, and then uNxumalo stopped it.
Please, I remember that part then. Umsindo wani ngathi I remember it.
Yebo. So everything started inside the house once they were washing their hands outside.
Which would then say that someone was fighting. I get your story.
Yes. One other thing, Lona and kuleli veki ukhona iphoyisa eliku retirement ebelikhona ngithi lizotestify. Why can't this one come?
He's tired. He's enjoying the beach.
Because this is very important. Why manje Lona are replaced? And if nimzwe kahle lo host uthe lo urban local retirement,
Stain.
had to retire.
Had to.
It's either he was forced to retire or something else.
Had to.
I get your analysis.
I can because if he was forced to retire, then he cannot come back because you just cannot be called.
Allegedly.
Yes, that's my 2 cents into.
All right, thank you very much.
You're doing a great job, Mr. Ano. I put it to you that as you're saying we are studying, I hope you are doing law because you two guys are doing a great job. It will be a loss if really maybe you're studying to be Mfundis or something else.
Theology, I'm there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm boring theology there.
I'm not doing law, no way.
Let me finish this.
Out the extent of which the date where they come from, on how they were extracted and how they came to be in somebody's phone. Moreover, if he's saying he found it off Facebook, you go to the Facebook account that is linked because it does attach, that is attached from Facebook or whatever it was, screen grabbed or saved from Facebook. Where did it come from? We didn't analyze that. What's the data saying? So there's certain things that are wanting and certain things that he is not sure of, and it's because Stain gave him the information and he was told to go off what Stain had. So certain things like, there's so many numbers, accused number 1 has so many numbers or alleged names that he's linked to, but he's not sure if they link to him because he didn't do the information. And the people, the investigators behind it are the ones actively going and searching for information on the holes that they're filling, of holes that they are finding to correct them. So it's interesting. We'll see what happens.
We'll see
Allegedly.
Indeed. We'll see what happens.
Sanibonani, Emily and Anonymous.
Hello.
Hey, ngifuna ukukhuluma ngendaba yefoni yaNtanzi. These people are saying they didn't download anything from their phone yaNtanzi because even a password or a pattern. But to me, they are lying because it's just that Ntanzi doesn't anganayo imali. But ngiso isikhathi sokuthi abavulele icala labantu ngoba mabathi ifoni yaNtanzi abayivulangi, they know because if bathi bayivulile icala linabo vele ngoba they were using that phone of Ntanzi because there's no way Ntanzi can stay with a phone in a jail cell alone for more than 10 months, which means that phone on its own is an exhibit. It's an evidence that Ntanzi can use to sue those people because once you open that phone, hey, man, there's evidence that you can see, you will find evidence when it was used, which tower it was connecting, but because the guys are poor, because they were, who was using Ntanzi's Facebook, who was taking pictures using Ntanzi's phone when he was in jail, even if he was, that phone, that's why they are saying they didn't open it so that they can cover their tracks, because that phone is very important to me. That phone is an exhibit which must be used, which must be investigated, because there are people, it's easy to open that phone, it's easy to download. When they like it, they act as they are stupid. They open Ntanzi's phone, they use it, now they say, no, we didn't open his phone because it was having a password. But their phone mina ngithi bayisebenzisile. So if ingavulwa le phone yaNtanzi, hayi man, kuzoshuba lapho because le phone leyo isebenzile
allegedly
bayisebenzisa amaphoyisa
allegedly
bayenza lo mkhuba wakho bathatha nama phone number bo wathi ulungisani lo munye bathi uNtuli so it's just that the guys they don't have money but if it was a rich person you know the state was in trouble but one day is one day.
Yes.
I one day is one day.
Let's hear this.
Well, I was also like, a cell phone expected Gala. Honestly.
At one time, Gomezulu was refused to use evidence from TikTok, but this witness on the stand is allowed to use pics from Facebook and see the biasness of the judge, okay? That is if he's the one who put it in analyzing data. Please like the video. At one time back in 2008, I was arrested on an unlawful arrest. When I got out, I sued the state. The police who arrested me were subpoenaed to come and testify in court. After they had resigned from SAPS, they came and the case was finalized in 2022, and I was paid for the damages. Oh,
congratulations! Because not so many people have. Congratulations. Okay, well done.
It's nice to hear that at some point people
you can
win.
sue and get what is due after the verdict.
Right, guys, just like the video, share the video. I see people on the comment section. Let me just get this. I see Sibanda. This is when we are singing the song for Acheni. Sibanda. And I see Lana Lento. Jeremiah. I see Eni. I see Nat. Mrauli. I see Nete. I see Chuku Anna. Elizabeth. Sizwe Mgaka. Tabiso Daunge Ozidube Podi I see Dibuo I see Mamela I see Lufate, our moderator, our Lufate is everything.
Yes.
Our member.
Our moderator.
Yeah. I see let me see Paul Manjani, and then I see Jos Bila, Shanjiwe Sibanda. I see Togo Masondo. I see Maipilo. I'm hoping that is correct, how I call it. Nolukanya. I see Heaven Angel Zaza. I see Mlambo Designs. What are you designing, Mlambo? And I see Gift Nyati. We go up Mpo Nosipo. Just jump a bit. I see Togo Masondo. I hope I'm not repeating you. Amukelani suggest. Huh? Yay. Amukelani suggest. Backyard mechanic. Sibiya. Who else am I seeing here? Nolukanyo Nkau. I see Petro Kosi. Yeah, there's a lot of people. It was buzzing. I see Modley. Yes, that's basically it, and that's a good night from me. CN Porker, I see you. It's a good night. It has been nice. Like the video, share the video. Samuel Radebe, good night. If I see your name here on these new comments, I'll definitely call it out. Oh, Tim Cool. I see. Yeah, some people I've called them. Tikelo. Busan Sibanda. Hope I'm not repeating you. I think I've seen many Sibandas. Pepelo.
Pepelo Kuma.
Let's see. Is there anyone I'm missing? Yeah, it was nice. Chuku Anna. Yes. Night to everyone whom I did not call.
Yeah, by the way, the judge did say that the court is continuing.
So tomorrow we'll be here. It's not the end of the day, and it's Friday, definitely. So it's...
So we don't know whether they'll bring in another witness or Mnisi is going to continue, but provided that they have him listen.
They'll bring another
to
police,
the record.
another useless police. Mduduzi Ronald Shongwe. They will bring another useless police. Someone, maybe someone from traffic corp. Anything, man. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
They will bring something. Someone who was selling bananas. But they don't like those ones. They want cops.
Yeah,
they're dealing cops.
Yeah.
Mandi party. Thank you guys. Thank you. You've been with us. When we've been with you, we enjoyed. Lulu Carbonina. See you. Sims. Bye. It's a bye. Bye Ozidube. Just like the video. Share the video. Thank you very much. Nevala. Opalezozo. Like this. Jabulani Zulu. Yes.
Yes. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hopefully.